Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we have a very simple, very short set, and I will tell you why I say short. As you can see, the video is basically almost in normal speed. This is, I took 15 minutes to finish the whole set. This is the Order Wizard of Lords of Magic, so we are almost finished with this theme. One lord left to go, and then I will see what I do next as a topic on the channel. And as you can see, I'm using a model that I made previous because the wizard, I put it up in the corner because I can't be bothered with this model, to be honest. The wizard is a very simple model, as are all of the sprites, but this one was especially simple, except for maybe the cloak that has a bit of a pattern, but since you don't see it in the render, who cares? So what I did is I grabbed the robe that I made for the necromancer that I did for the death faction, which was, I think, the faction before that. I'm not 100% sure on my own. Anyway, I grabbed the necromancer robes. I cut away all the specific stuff about the necromancer, like the skulls around the neck and the weird pointy brim shapes and cuffs, and then I added new cuffs by copy pasting part of the already existing robe. You have seen that this created these weird spikes. This is something that I don't know why it happens, but sometimes if I thicken specific pieces that I copy pasted, then the whole thing just gets really weirdly moved. So yeah, I had the first of the cuffs finished by then, or by now, and I wanted to edit a bit of the other stuff. But first I made the UV map. Again, UV maps. I saved so much time because I already had UV maps on everything, and the like 4 UV maps I had to do, or 3 UV maps I had to do, were so simplistic. Yeah, I added the brim on the lower part of the robe, and at this point I thought, well, I want to have the model inside of my workspace, so I decided to go and import Genesis to female. This is why she is now popping up. And yeah, I basically just wanted to make the robe a bit wider, because in the sprite it looks relatively big, relatively wide, and I could probably have taken the time to add some some detail to the robe, like folds and stuff, but yeah, I just simply decided it's not gonna worth my time, because I'm basically using this for one render, so I'm not really going to bother and do all the details. Yeah, one thing that I did is last time when I worked on my last set, the Ingrid set, I actually kinda saved over my Genesis to female model, but thankfully I didn't cut anything away. I just added the hair, so when next time I load this up, I just have to save it without the hair, and then I'm good. Also, I have like 2 backups of Genesis to female by now, or somewhere on my in my folders, so even if I actually break it for some reason, I can always just grab one of the backups and be fine. And again, this is why keeping all the models around is so helpful, like the actual hexagon files, because this really took like 15 minutes, the whole thing, the whole set. We're basically at the 8-minute mark here, and I'm done with the robes. Actually, this is all I did. What I did in the final render, again, if you want to jump at the end, check out the final render. It's not that great, I guess. I converted everything back to Genesis to male actually for this one, because the face on Genesis to female just looks too too soft, too feminine actually. So it was like a real weird twink, which, I mean, works as a mage absolutely, but not in this specific case. So I decided I'm going to transfer everything to Genesis to male and use a few morphs I have there to make this work and look more grizzled and old. The next thing was the cloak. I basically just imported a cloak that I had already made for a Raven of Teen Titans Raven set that I made very long ago. I think I made this before I started my channel. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have to check. I don't know. Anyway, I just imported it, and it's really just a simple realigning of the different shapes. As you can see, the cloak is one group, which lets me grab points of all the pieces, of all the parts that make up the cloak, which is a really helpful way to work on all this stuff. And the only thing I had to watch out is that I actually only grab the pieces that I need and don't like move all the parts. And what I didn't do is I didn't check the back of this for clipping. I'll be honest, I just forgot about it. This is something that happens. And when I noticed this in the render, I just decided, okay, I'm going to use it anyway. And I'm just gonna show a pose where you see the character from the front anyway, so it's not really that big of a problem if you see the if the back clips a bit. Also, I didn't bother rigging the cloak, which, if you want to use a cloak, if you want to use it more often, you absolutely should. But since I'm really not a fan of cloaks, I just decided I'm not gonna bother and rig it. But if you want to use cloaks more often, absolutely rig them, because it is so much better than if it follows the body and just makes a weird shape. Wizard head, finally, last piece. I grabbed the second Bullet Witch head that I made. This is actually something where you can look up the video, just look for Bullet Witch on my channel and you will find the video of me making this. And I basically just removed all the details, well, most of the details except for the one brim or sash around the head, which I realigned and just moved downwards, as you can see. And then I checked again with the picture, which has a very straight head. So instead of having this move sideways, at first I thought about just turning the head 90 degrees. But I noticed that if I do that, I'll have to realign all the whole head, because it is not perfectly round. So I decided to instead just really grab the different faces and move them and manually move this back into the original position. Yeah, sometimes I just grab the edges of my viewport for some reason. Happens. Yeah. And this is actually the part that you see in real time, because I still had enough video basically over. So I really did this in 15 minutes, the whole thing. Then probably another 15 minutes just adding it into Des Studio and recoloring it. if you noticed, I actually forgot to copy the cuff in the on the robe, so I had to do that later on. I had to basically do that twice, but that happens, and I'm done with this set, which I'm really happy with. And that's it actually for the whole video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope this actually helps you and shows you a bit of the stuff that happens, or that can be easy if you just keep all your models. Thanks for watching, and I hope I will see you guys in the next one.